Hello.
Hello there.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah, you all
Yeah,
right?
I'm all right. Yeah, not too bad. So yeah,
Yeah,
we're doing doing Foundation season 2, episode 2.
yeah. A
Yeah,
glimpse of darkness.
is that what it's called? I don't even notice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
glimpse of
I know that
darkness.
because I looked it up.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
and if anyone would like to subscribe, because we keep forgetting,
Yeah,
subscribe, like,
subscribe.
share,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah. Sorry to do it straight at the beginning, but if I don't, I'm going to forget again. So that's it. It's out of the way now.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. So sort of the last episode, um, Harry was in the Prime Radiant and he managed to escape,
Yeah,
and he came out and he was spitting feathers, wasn't he?
you was pissed. Yeah,
He was pissed, yeah. So I was kind of like, so I quickly looked over the back of that, sort of the end of that episode, and there was a couple of things I missed, like the Prime Radiant is vested in the interests of humanity's destiny,
right. Yeah,
apparently. Yeah,
psychohistory, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what his
yeah.
thing of psychohistory's.
Well,
He,
that's what
he,
the avatar in the within the Prime Radiant said
yeah.
that she's invested in yeah, humanity's destiny. We don't know why. Um,
Yeah, so I mean, it's weird because I was looking at that because in the beginning of this episode,
yeah,
he is kicking off and he said, you just put me in there
yeah,
and I've been conscious the whole time.
yeah. It
And
sundered him
yeah, but it's
from the
weird because
ship.
she said in the last episode, I put him in there last night. And we actually talked about that because we were like, last night?
Yeah, we didn't
Um,
see it. Yeah.
no, but I think she meant the last night, like before she left. So from what I gather, he's been there inside that thing for 140 years,
Oh
conscious.
shit.
Yeah, because I thought he was a bit, you know, I thought time worked differently or something. But it looks like she put him in there when she was on the Raven, which was his ship, and they were going to Helicon. She
Yeah.
put him in there then, but I don't think we saw it.
No, we
But
did.
yeah, he's been in there that whole time, sort of ranting and raving to himself.
Yeah. No wonder he's pissed.
Yeah,
And well, I mean, on Gail's sort of point of view, this is the timeline she's had. She saw her love of her life murder Harry, was all shocked. He whisked her away, put her in a pod. She ended up on Harry's ship, had an argument with him, escaped on a pod again, 130 years. So she must have done it then, just
yeah,
before she left the ship. Um, but in her mind, that's been like less than 24 hours. All of
yeah,
that plus 138 years she was traveling, finding her daughter.
yeah.
So it's no wonder she's kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, no, she's true. She's just, I mean, she kind of admitted in this episode that she derailed the plan because she was pissed off. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's causing massive problems. So she is sort of like,
Well, she's also
yeah,
she saw Raish, the love of life, die as well. He got blasted out of
yeah,
the into space. So it's a lot for
yeah,
one person to take in within that
yeah,
time period.
exactly.
But obviously, from Harry's point of view, it's been 140 years. So
Yeah, so he
yeah,
was annoyed, which he would
yeah, of
be.
course.
So
Um,
yeah, so yeah, so that's how it starts off, isn't it? He comes out, he's annoyed that she's ruined the whole plan. There's supposed to be
yeah,
a second foundation, which they don't even know if it exists because she fucked it up.
yeah.
Um,
She said, "You don't tell me everything,"
yeah, and he
and
doesn't. That's true.
and he said to her, "Raish knew everything, and Raish
Mm,
didn't tell her."
no,
So
I
that
don't suppose
that
he had time, did he? Because things went
yeah,
awry. But
went a
like,
bit shit. Yeah,
but even so, there's communication problem, and both of them have like fucked things up. So
yeah,
now they're trying to sort of fix everything.
yeah. So
Uh,
I thought he was going to murder her, but he didn't.
yeah,
But like, what he's really annoyed about, apart from being trapped in his own mind for 140 years, um, it was the fact that the second foundation's not been built,
yeah,
and that was the one that they need to sort of mitigate the crises that are coming up,
yeah.
or crises. I don't know, what is that? What's the plural? Crises? I don't know.
crises. I don't know, crises. Let's say.
Mm.
So yeah. So I mean, so yeah, not sure. How that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a bit ambiguous as to whether the second foundation did get started or when it, because I think he was going to go to Helicon and start it, wasn't he? But it never happened.
They
I don't.
mentioned a location for it, so I'm assuming it did happen.
Yeah. So we're not quite
So,
sure. I mean, that's kind of like where the next scene when we go to this sort of like planet, and you see these kind of two priests. I kind of thought that's what they were talking about, the second foundation.
right.
But I don't. But obviously, it wasn't. They were just like missionaries. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
So I,
snake oil salesmen, weren't they? They
yeah,
were,
which is kind of like, and it goes through the whole episode. This thing. So I found, you know, I mean, it turns out. So basically, we go to this other planet, and there's two sort of priest things.
yeah.
The woman
It's called
is it
Savannah.
Savannah. So there's a young
Um,
woman who's kind of horrible and treats the guy speaks to him like he's a dog. Um, get up, put your trousers on, all this kind of shit, um, because he's hungover or something like that. So basically, they're not really quite sure what they're doing there, and they find a dead body, one of theirs, that's been
yeah,
strung
a
up,
priest or
a
something.
priest, by the locals. So it turns out the locals on this planet have been abandoned by the Empire for whatever reasons. So for the last how many decades or whatever, they've been sort of suffering back to a kind of farming sort of
Yeah,
thing, no
yeah,
technology and stuff, struggling a bit and gone a little bit backwards. But these guys aren't helping the cause by pretending to be magicians, which
no,
obviously harks back to what they said in the first episode. They said
flying
there's been rumors of
magicians.
flying magicians and stuff, and we were like, "What the
Yeah,
hell's that all about?" So it's these guys, and it turns out they work for the foundation.
yeah. So the
Um,
foundation, it looks like um, they've gone along. Like the foundation now seems to be quite warlike,
mm,
and as part of a propaganda sort of thing to rope other planets in and other humans. They've made up this religion based on Harry Seldon. I think he's going to
yeah,
be a bit annoyed when he finds that
yeah,
out.
absolutely. So
Um,
they're going off the
and
rails.
they're a joke. They talk to these people like they're idiots.
Yeah,
And sort of halfway through this episode, there was a bit of it was getting to the point where there's going to be a rebellion. Should we leave that to later, or should I just say it?
just say it.
Yeah. So, just say it. So there's a they find the guy. He's kind of been like crucified and strapped to a tree, killed by the locals because they're getting fed up. They think it's a sham. One
Yeah,
of the priests, so there's two priests, there's a lady and a man, and one of the priests is a drunk. And it turns out later he's also on drugs as well. So it's just a massive sham, and some of the locals are obviously sort of twigging to that, and also they managed to kill the priest. And previous to this, we were told that they couldn't be affected by weapons, but they've obviously figured out that if you get to someone with an aura, because this is what the priests are using, that they can eventually get through it and kill the person underneath
they
it.
they got him struck by lightning, didn't they?
Oh, is that right?
They
Oh,
tied him
I
to that
missed
thing, and
that.
they tied him to that thing, and he got struck by lightning.
Yeah, that'll do
So
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll
So
kill
but
someone.
it's weird, and the guy in this out of those two, I think he's the young boy who was in the first series,
Polly.
Ollie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out he's that guy, which is fine.
How is he 150 years old?
I suppose he's been. I think I'm not sure. They might have mentioned it, but I think he's been in cryosleep, traveling about or some shit.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I
fair
don't
enough.
know.
Yeah.
Um,
So anyway,
so,
they're a big sham. There's a bit of a rebellion going on. They've killed one priest, and now they know they can do it. They're not, these angelic cosmic entities that can't be harmed. And they start kicking off a bit. And the drunk priests, they've got all the technology. They've got a ship in orbit. They've got auras.
yeah,
They've got they can beam people up, levitate you up into the ship, and all the rest of it. So they look like. celestial beings sort of
Yeah.
thing, or at least they're playing on that. And they managed to sort of quell the rebellion by doing a few tricks
Yeah.
and this and that. But yeah, and then it turns out by the end of the episode, they're working for the Foundation. It's all completely cynical and just a way to control the masses.
Yeah, they're trying to sort of like get planets online to join their sort of, cause, if you
Yeah.
like. But it seems like they've sort of lost their way. It's like mostly, like you say, mostly military.
Yeah, they used to
They're
be good people, didn't they? When they
yeah, and
when
they're
they
sort of
turned up.
building up an army, preparing for war, quite keen on the idea. They've
Yeah, it's like buying it,
invent, yeah,
you know.
invented a church to bamboozle people with tricks and stuff like that. So it's all a bit wrong, and the Polly sort of
Yeah.
kind of is not particularly happy about it. I don't think he doesn't really believe in what he's doing. I just doesn't think possibly why he's into drugs and alcohol,
Yeah, maybe
but
so.
like
Yeah.
and um, yeah, so it's kind of
Yeah, they've lost their way.
yeah, and it looks like that's I mean even Harry says later on this foundation will turn into the empire all over again without guidance or something. I can't remember exactly what he says. It's just
Yeah.
another way of controlling people. Under the guise of doing good,
Mm.
and it kind of looks like that's true,
Well, yeah.
um, which is a bit crap. Um,
Yeah, there's a couple of things in. So when we go back to Trantor,
mm.
Demoiselle is talking. Obviously, Demoiselle and Day are having sex, and I think she's got him wrapped around her little finger
Oh,
because
totally, yeah.
yeah,
I totally think she's up to it.
she's
She's
totally up to something because she suggests this bloke called Del Rios
Bel
as
Riose, yeah,
a commander or something, and Day immediately gets the arsehole with it, but then he goes, "Oh yeah, all right then," and then he
yeah,
goes to his brothers and then suggests Del Rios, so she's got him under the thumb.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Because he's Day, he kind of has veto, doesn't he, over the other two?
yeah.
You can't have
He's
votes
he's the
or
most
anything.
sort of
Yeah,
vibrant one, I
he's the
guess.
he's the prime, but he's yeah, whoever's the Day gets the final say on shit. The others are sort of
Yeah, it's no
one's
wonder
in
they're getting
training and
pissed
one's
off.
one's an advisor. But it's weird because I was like, who's that? And I did a little Google search, and apparently he's very important in the books.
Del
He's sort of
Rios.
yeah, he's like a
Uh,
kind of Han Solo type,
ah,
a smuggler, sort of plays by his own rules,
yeah.
sort of shit. And like he's got nothing to do with Empire or Foundation or anything. So
His troops like him. That's what I got from it.
probably that sort of thing.
He's
Yeah, do
like
you
a
know what I
general or sergeant or something in charge
mean?
of a massive group,
Yeah.
army or something like
So
that. And
so
uh,
he's going to be quite important.
he's obviously got a lot of sway, isn't he? I mean, if you've got
Yeah,
an army behind you, you
yeah,
can quickly knock off them three and
yeah,
take
exactly. So
over. So
so,
it's
but
kind
yeah,
of probably a good idea that he said yes to it then, really.
well, maybe, but it all depends, like
Mm,
what why Demoiselle suggested him. You know,
yeah.
we
She,
saw as well. He was on like in the same sort of scene. He's talking about his wife and and all this kind of shit, and she's obviously up to something as well. She's proper snippy,
yeah.
and like obviously they alluded to some disaster where her sister or something got killed. There was some
Right.
um, like a assassination attack, which they obviously suspect Empire, but we
Yeah.
don't know whether or not they did it or not. Probably did. Um, so she's obviously got some sort of agenda, and
Yeah.
you're wondering why he's going through with it all, really.
Yeah, you
You
kind of
know,
do.
um,
Maybe
and one of
maybe
the others,
Demoiselle suggested it, but then I can't see that
she
either.
seems to be sort of against it, doesn't she?
Yeah, she looks a bit pissed off later on.
Yeah,
But anyway, the things I noticed, they have a meal advisor now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, because he's not doing the same movements because of the genetic corruption.
yeah, they all used to be completely using the
Yeah,
same motions all the time, the way they pick up a fork, what they choose from the plate, how they pick up their glass of wine, all of that stuff. and you can see that it's making him really uncomfortable because they're saying that his DNA has skewed off the path by
Yeah,
3 centimorgans.
yeah.
Yeah,
But he said that's been. He said they fixed it, but like the habits. Do you know what I mean? So like,
yeah. Well,
so and
he's
obviously they're just doing that as show, so that they
mm,
can, and they make a little show of it when they're in the meal later on. They have another meal, um, with the bride to be and her sort of person. Um,
yeah.
so
So we go back to Gail and
yeah,
Harry and Salvor, and they wanted to send her consciousness 150 years into the future to see what the
yeah. Which
fuck's going on.
so that was a capability we didn't know she had, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, she was getting
So
flashes, but she's not trained in
yeah, but Harry was
forcing.
like, just do it,
Just it. Yeah,
and
and she
yeah,
has
and
to
then
drown herself to do it.
yeah, to put herself under stress. I just written down stress vision, um, which kind of seems dangerous and stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah, so she has this they do it. She has this vision, and she's sort of in some future, and it's just typical apocalyptic shit. There's just
yeah,
shit
shit on
everywhere,
fire. There's
shit on
rubble
fire.
everywhere.
People are dead,
Mm.
lunatic running around,
Yeah, who was the
and
lunatic?
well, again, it's not really. She says it's someone called the Mule, and that
Right.
he seemed to have an ability similar to hers in that he
Oh,
could
right.
kind of I'm not sure what you call that about abilities. It's kind of like it's a bit like
Prescient.
he can see inside her mind a bit, but he sort of managed to grab her and was looking at her, and he said like there's someone he knew that
She was
past Gale was looking.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's obviously quite sort of powerful and
yeah.
important.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said, "Are you from the time of Empire?" So obviously,
Mm.
Empire has fallen in that particular future, which is only I think they said it was only 150 years in the future. So the time of Empire. So either Empire's fallen or it's on its way out or something.
Yeah, it
Um,
didn't look like they made a fantastic job of it. I mean, the place
no,
was
I mean, didn't know where
unlivable.
that was or anything, did we? But
No,
like,
looked like
so
Brixton on a Saturday night.
yeah, exactly. But like he said something about where are your mentalics, and you kind of think, well, that's maybe she's in the future. She's surrounded herself by this some group of people called the Mentalics. Maybe it's people like her, and
Yeah,
maybe like him, sort of like a
telepaths,
psychic
sort
sort
of.
of thing.
Yeah,
But then he also said Hobar Mallow or something,
yeah. Some of the
and
crazy names in this thing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Mr. Marshmallow. So, and he was referred to twice. His name's
Mr.
come up,
Mallow.
Mr. Mallow. Yeah, hello, Mr. Mallow. Um, so that was kind of weird. We didn't really didn't know who he was. We don't know who Hober Mallow is, but she comes back and tells them all that and says that
Yeah.
he knows that I'm looking. He knew that I'm looking
Harry
at
didn't
something.
know the name, did he? Which
No,
is important for later.
presumably, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
Um,
um, and then, but she was it he yeah. So in the future, that guy was asking her, "Where's the second foundation?"
yeah.
So the second foundation obviously happens, whether it's already happened or whether Gail, Salvor, and Hari are going to start it now. Who knows?
Yeah. I have to get
Um,
busy.
but yeah, exactly. But then she got a name of the planet, Ignis or something. So right, okay, we're going to Ignis now. I think that's the last we see of them in that episode. Sort of. Oh no, it's not because she says to Salvor later, "There's something I hid from you,"
Oh, that's
and
right.
she said
Yeah.
she saw Salvor dead lying on the
Yeah.
floor. It's like, but at least you made it that far.
150 years.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
innings.
you're about for almost 300 years old now. Well done.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that was sort of okay, fair enough. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Um,
No, we go
but
back to Sarif, and the thing that she has a meal. So Sarif is the queen of Cloud Cathedral, and she's
mm,
the prospective wife of Day, lucky
yeah,
girl. he's a
yeah,
night he's a nutcase, isn't it? He's a little bit
but
creepy
rich.
as well.
Yeah, but he's rich.
Yeah, I mean physically, he's buff and all that, but like mentally, he's anyway. So they sort of have a meal together. her and Dusk and Dawn are there as well, and she's really clever because she says to the that she likes doing this ice skating thing on some methane ice planet, and the young lad goes, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do that." And then she talks about art and history, and Dusk is like, "Oh yeah, I'd be really into that." You know what I mean? She's
Yeah,
completely sort of getting in there. And then she says a few like political stuff that Dave's really into, and he thinks, "Oh, she's yeah, I'm liking this one." Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? So she knows what she's fucking doing, that's for sure. Obviously, she's very attractive and all the rest of it. Let's see, yeah, and then Damosel gets annoyed because she asks to see the Principium. Is it the
yeah.
Principium?
Principium, I think.
So that's the body of the original um what do you call him?
Cleon, yeah.
Theon, yeah, he's the Cleon. Yeah, so and
And
Damsel's
also the
not,
future ones, isn't it? Yeah, all the future.
and the babies, yeah, the babies
Yeah,
in jars and stuff like that. And Damsel gets a hump, and he's not really entirely sure if she's a little bit jealous or whatever plan Damsel's got going on. This is not a part of it.
yeah.
But she gives it quite a bit of a side eye there. Um,
Oh, yeah, she totally hates her. I think she's totally against this plan.
yeah.
Um, because it's kind of if she's the one who's been corrupting the DNA, which I suspect she is,
She's
then
the
like,
only one to have access to
yeah,
that stuff.
then it's just going to like, all the 10,000 years she's been working for them or whatever, or she's there. I don't know how long they've been alive. The Empire's only a couple of thousand years, isn't it, or something?
Something like that, yeah. I
But
mean, how
like,
do they not suspect her?
I suppose it's kind of built into maybe it's built into their DNA
It's
to trust
possible.
her,
Yeah, yeah,
and
maybe.
like because they think she's just an android and stuff. So obviously, no one knows that she's an android
No, that's
apart from
right.
them.
Yeah.
But although I think the woman in the first series, the sort of priestess, suspected or something, didn't she? And like they probably
The
know.
priestess she killed definitely did. I
Yeah.
can't remember her name now, but she was a
So the
really charismatic lady.
yeah
Gave Day a bit of trouble, and then they knocked her off. Demoiselle knocked her off.
yeah
It's a real shame, actually. She was quite a good character.
she was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean they have a good old chat looking at the bodies and stuff, and she's you know
Yeah, they said something that we didn't know that was so all the new replacements are getting um, updated thoughts
yeah.
and experiences from the living ones,
So yeah, so they don't lose any information
and
of
they
his
cut it
life.
off just before death, apparently, so they don't have
Yeah,
that experience of dying, which makes sense. Um,
absolutely.
then they talked about whether they should have sex or not, whether they get married.
Yeah,
And he's kind of like, yeah, it'd be nice, but then he says, no, we'll just take some ovums from you, you
yeah.
know, blah blah blah, stick it in a jar, and I'll knock it out like that.
But
So
then, yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe they'll do that. But then, if Demoiselle has fucking control over
oh,
DNA and shit, she could be doing stuff. And obviously, she said a bit earlier that they'd investigated the mind of Dusk and
oh, that's
Dawn,
right, yeah,
and
yeah,
also the people who saved Day's life and stuff like that. She said there's no memory there, but she said they've obviously been corrupted, or at least the people who saved his life, the
mm,
technicians and that, because they don't even remember seeing us. So they've
mm,
obviously been fucked around with someone. It's got to be her.
yeah.
So so she's going to fuck with everyone's DNA and stuff. It's God knows what she's going to turn into.
Oh, I know.
She's great. She's my favorite character. Yeah, she's
She is. She's very, very
really cool.
quietly sort of machinations going on
Yeah,
there. Sarah also suggested that the DNA was corrupt.
yeah,
She kind of knew about that.
yeah. Rumors and yeah,
Yeah. And then I think we go back to Savannah then, which is the planet where the magicians are. Anyway, they sort there's violence. It looks like there's going to be violence there. They're getting a bit pissed off with her, and they sort that out and they go back to the ship. and it was just a show for distraction.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, they cut it short, don't they, the show, because they get an urgent message and it's like, come back to Terminus.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So they've obviously got like a jump ship. So, because, they didn't have to go into stasis or anything, they were there with the next couple of hours.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So that technology's obviously
yeah.
been bettered by last time, which you'd expect, I suppose, over 100 years, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And they slept as well, because it's weird because in the Empire ships, in the sort of 150 before, they needed spaces, but like these guys didn't need spaces to do the jump, light jump.
Yeah.
They
Did
just
they
stayed
need to? Did they,
asleep. So I don't know whether that's technology improving,
yeah.
or but like they get there,
So
which
the
is
galactic spirit they mentioned last time is now the new religion. And sort of towards the end, so we go back to the foundation,
yeah.
which is Terminus, and they have a chat with Polly, and oh, and did you hear that noise?
No.
No, all right, it's just on my end then. So yeah, Polly's this sort of like drunk priest. Didn't seem like he was that into fooling everybody, but he's just gone along
No.
with it. So a bit weak. The people in charge of the foundation now are really wanting a war with
Them.
Trantor, which is
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, is madness. But they must have some reason to believe that they could succeed.
Yeah, it's
Um,
possible, just like a big sense of their own importance,
it could
because
be,
because
yeah,
Harry Seldon told them they were instrumental, so in the whole thing, so they think that you
yeah.
know
They've,
they're going to
yeah,
fucking prevail, and so it's given them a sense of well, it's our right to do whatever we bloody like. Definitely
yeah,
lost their way, it seems like,
yeah.
but
Totally stupid.
but I think Harry knew that. I think it's all part of it.
Yeah,
I
part of the
think it's part
plan.
of the plan.
Yeah,
um, but obviously that's why you needed the other foundation. That's what he said, because
yeah,
he said, again, like I said earlier, he said the foundation unchecked would just become another empire. So, that's why you have to have the other foundation. So that's probably what we'll find out. But
and
yeah,
then
so
yeah, go on.
I was going to say, so yeah, they're on Terminus and they have a meeting, and the sort of priest guy's sort of, he's a bit pissed off, but they've brought him back because he's the only one still living who was there at the
Polly.
first vault opening.
Yeah,
And the new warden is just like, well, I'm going to meet him on my own. And he's
yeah,
like, which is obviously really kind of a bit egotistical. You could at least taken the guy with you.
yeah,
Um, and he said, he said you're a drunk and you're on drugs and all that stuff, and it's a bit annoying. And
yeah,
turns out the priest girl, her dad, I think she has two dads. I think she has the guy with the mustache, but also the guy who's really, yeah, we won a war.
yeah,
He also
yeah,
is her dad, apparently. Because there was a bit at the beginning when she gets off the spaceship and she jumps into her father's arms, and I was like, oof.
Oh, I thought
I don't
that was
know.
her lover.
Yeah, really?
I don't
I
know.
thought
Yeah,
I
I
thought
just
it was
thought they
I
looked
thought
about
it
the
was her
same
dad.
age. I just thought maybe I don't
Were
know.
they the same age? I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't
I
know,
thought it.
chicken.
I thought it was her dad, and
It
then
might have
she's
been.
got another dad. So I was like, okay, that's
I'll
cool. He
I'll
seemed a
watch
bit
that
older
again.
than her. She seemed quite young.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it could be a lover. So maybe, who knows?
yeah.
Um, so anyway,
I hope not.
the
Not if it's the
vaults start.
dad.
The
That'd be
vaults
weird.
start. No, I don't think that the dad's a lover. Yeah, I don't think she's
Yeah,
loving her
let's get
dad.
off the incest
Not in
train,
that
shall
way.
we? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So anyway, so they go, right, well, we need to go to the vault because it's going to open any moment. And they go
yeah,
there, and of course, it fucking opens just as they're there,
yeah. Which is handy.
which is handy. And so it sort of opens, but nothing happens. And then the warden goes up and makes a really daft speech where he's obviously, and even the priest guy's like jackass or something, because he starts saying "wither,"
Yeah.
like it's a really big sense of
Hearken unto my
self-importance.
words.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's sort of shit. And he's like, "Watch me as I boldly go into the future," and then he just gets fucking immobilized and then incinerated.
Yeah, yeah,
And he just keeps repeating, "Get Hobar Mallow."
Yeah.
And then the vault closes again, and it's got the words Hobar Mallow on it, and they're like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah, what the fuck's going on
Yeah.
there?
So it's like, so Harry must know. So it's weird because there's two Harrys, but like, when was the second one created? So is the Harry with um, Gale and that? Is he lying that he doesn't know who this Hobar Mallow is? Because he might
True.
be. If he's part of the plan, he would know.
Yeah.
He would probably know. So I think he's lying. I mean, I think that's just Harry's character. He's constantly lying. But
Yeah.
he's doing it for a reason. He's doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, but
But
then
like,
it's a bit
it's
arrogant to assume that he knows exactly how things. Mind you, I suppose everything else has happened, doesn't it? So I suppose he
But
has
yeah,
got
well, that's the thing.
reason.
That's the thing. He said it's
Yeah.
science. He said psychohistory just predicts everything, and it has to
Yeah.
be this way, sort of thing. Um, so yeah, he gets disintegrated, and the vault shuts again, and I think that's how it ends. So
Yeah.
I thought it was an okay episode.
I think they've had to
What?
put a lot of story in it. Do you know what I mean? So like we can get to the next bit. Because like
Yeah,
the first episode was actually packed with a lot of
yeah,
stuff as well that we need to know, so we understand what's
yeah.
going on later. Um, yeah,
Absolutely, yeah, and I thought it was okay. I thought. I mean, I think I was just part of me was a bit annoyed that the foundation has turned into this sort of kind of con artist sort of thing. So I was a bit kind of like, oh. But
yeah.
that's part. It's part of the story. That's the whole. That's the whole point. It's about
Humans
because the
going
first
back to
season was
their
about
old
the
dirty
foundation.
ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The foundation's going to save everything, but it turns out that just you know
human beings are.
power corrupts and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's interesting,
Mm,
but that they're pulling the wool over the eyes of the. It's always the fucking poor working classes that suffer in all of this shit. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's just they're just constantly saying, "Join with us," or to the
And
punishment. So,
those people on was it Savannah or Sedona? I can't remember the name of the planet now. But they were right because they obviously suspected that this was bullshit.
yeah, and they're only
Yeah.
like, I mean, they've gone backwards technologically
Yeah.
because the Empire's taken away the things, but like it's not that long
No.
ago, right? So they would know. They're not just like pigs, like they're
Yeah.
reasonably educated people. Yeah, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
their society's gone back to a more sort of rural sort of, and things. Life's a bit tougher,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like they would still have some knowledge of the way
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
used to
They'd
be
have
and stuff. So they would,
grandfathers and stuff who told them
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So they weren't. They're not like completely like, oh, look at the magicians and let's join them. They're
Mm.
kind of like, no, get out, heretics sort of shit. Um, it's a bit weird because one of the guys there who had the cowboy hat on, he was the first one who was like, heretic, get out. He's quite a good actor. He's been in loads of things. He was in Preacher. He
Oh,
played
yeah.
Adolf Hitler in that. Do you remember that? It's fucking funny.
Oh.
He's a really good actor. He's been in loads of things.
Oh, he might
So
be in it a bit more then.
I hope so because
Yeah.
he's like his name's Noah something as I recall, can't remember. Um, but I was surprised to see him because I thought, oh, he's a good character actor. Maybe he'll come back.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
But
Yeah. It was alright.
so
Yeah. I mean, no, I enjoyed
yeah, I thought it
watching
was.
it. I
I
like.
did. I thought it was good. The movie it's moving along. There's more. Like now we see that the foundation is losing its ways. Makes it. Christ. We are sort of heading for a big cataclysm.
Yeah.
And they threw in more questions like
Yeah.
who's this Hobar Mallow, who's this fucking mule fat character, who are the Mentalics, is there going to be a new race of Gale and Salvor's children,
Yeah. That'd be
maybe,
quite interesting.
like
Yeah.
so that more factions involved, empire shrinking. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting. I
It
think
is
I
really
enjoyed it.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good what do you call it? Program. Sorry, I had a bit of a moment
Program.
there. Yeah. Kind of forgot. Yeah, well, I suppose we could just leave it there then.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I mean, it's uh,
Like and
you know
subscribe. Remembered.
like and subscribe if you like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Don't
feel
have to.
forced.
You
Don't
don't
feel
have to.
forced.
Yeah.
Yeah, But it's
You won't get
fine if
nothing,
you do.
but you
Yeah,
won't lose
yeah, we're not going to
anything.
give you anything at all,
Yeah.
unless
Well,
we become really successful, and then we might.
yeah, if we get loads of subscribers and then we started making money, we might give you some money. Don't know.
Yeah,
That's a bribe.
yeah.
A
It's not a
few,
promise, though. By the way, don't
yeah,
hold us to that.
because yeah,
Possibly, maybe some badges or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
something, yeah,
or just thanks.
or maybe a
At the
T-shirt
moment,
with
it's
your
just
face
thanks.
on it.
That'd be cool. I've got one somewhere. Shall I wear when I'm alone?
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
but
she
at
Luke.
the moment, it's just thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah,
Thanks very much.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, well, we might as well leave that there then,
All right then.
and
Yeah,
looking forward to next week.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Me too. Yeah.
See you later then.
See
See you
you
later.
later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.